Hey, you little shits. You guys know I've been alive this whole time, right? Like, this entire time I've been alive. You know that. You are aware of this information, correct? We are on the same page. I have been alive this whole time. I haven't had access to anybody this whole time. And today I'm going to explain my genius plan on overthrowing myself so I can live freely again. You see, it was never in my intention, really, to build Hallownest. You know, I'm sure a lot of my followers and servants made quite a bit of propaganda about why I started Hallownest, and I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. That was kind of just a byproduct of the fact that I just kind of wanted to play Minecraft in real life. And it went pretty well, but then, you know, I got married, and marriage is an awful thing. And it turns out bugs, even though you can be a higher being, have a lot of kids. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you had so many to stop the Radiants. We're going to get to that in a minute, but that is not the case at all, actually. Just turns out I'm into tall white women, you know. Who would have guessed? And the consequences of my actions became very quickly apparent. Now, the thing is with worms like myself, well, you can kill yourself and then be reincarnated, but I needed an excuse to do it, because if I left at the peak of the kingdom, you know, it probably would have went to shit, and you know, it turns out in the end it did go to shit. So, what can you do? Okay, so you know how like a bunch of kingdoms always have like that race, you know, like in Hallownest, even before I got there, there was the Radiance with her moths. She was so proud of her creation. You have Grandmother Silk with her weavers, and you know, she's so proud of her creation. And of course, all higher beings have really fucked up ways of showing their love. So, you know, every kingdom has that. And I didn't take away the moths from the Radiance. I just gave them a bit of order. A lot of people say, oh, you enlightened them. That was never my intention, and me and the Radiance are actually on pretty good terms. The Radiance is actually one of the 3 people who helped me get out of Hallownest in a really violent and sudden way. She was kind of like the main component. You see, I didn't want to be a father, didn't want to handle the consequences and the responsibility of running a kingdom. So I was like, Radiance, you want to help me out here for a second? They said, yeah. And we came up with the idea that we're going to invent like a sickness, and we're going to spread it, and like, oh, I'll blame the Radiance, and the Radiance will be like, oh, well, I'll blame the Void, and the Void's like, oh, shit, I can't think. And I decided, well, we can use the Void as well. I went to the Void creature, you know, the Void Lord, who built the Void Kingdom beneath Hallownest before I arrived. I was like, hey, man, or woman, can you, like, infect also? Like, can you also, like, make your own infection to help me out here? And they said, you know what, that's a great idea. So I created this infection war, and I made it seem like I was on the Void side, because I was, quote-unquote, using the Void. No bug can master the Void. And I was like, we're gonna, like, make this excuse and, like, this conglomerate, so that way we can all work together and we can all get out of this in the end. Well, I decided I'm going to infect all of the unwanted little shits and say, ah, man, they were created for a purpose, and everyone believed it, even my wife. She isn't the brightest woman in the world. I mean, literally she is, but not the most intelligent. I don't mean that in a rude way. I've met smarter. Vespa is truly where the heart belongs, and, you know, a secret, it could be our little secret. And turns out I had to pick one of them, because the Radiance was like, well, we gotta do something, right? I was like, yeah, we do have to, in fact, do something. So I decided I'm gonna pick one, and they will be the pure vessel. And then Hornet came along, and you know what? I actually kind of liked Hornet. She looks a lot like me in a really fucked up way. And yeah, we started the infection, and everything went to shit. Everything went as planned, and when everyone was like, oh, the Pale King is going to go into hiding, I shot myself in my throne room so my reincarnation can kick in, because I'm an immortal being. And I got out of it scot-free. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what did the Radiance and the Void Lord get out of it? Why did they help you? Well, first of all 3 of us are pretty good friends, but also, the Radiance and the Void Lord kind of have like this weird thing going on. See, the Void Lord can manifest in its victims and its avatars the same way the Radiance can. And, it's like the sky and the earth. They're 2 lovers, but they could have never met. So it's like, you know what? You know, we're going to use this as an excuse to, like, put you guys in the same place. You can finally be together. And it was holy matrimony. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. They invited me to the wedding. It was great. Then Grandmother Silk pulled up. I don't think the Void Lord meant to do that. I think that was a Hornet thing, which, yeah, that sounds like her. That sounds like something she would do. Why couldn't Hive Knight ever be like that? Hive Knight was like the son I never had. He was so cool. Whenever him and Hornet were together, it was a great time. But then Hornet turned out to be a lesbian, and Hive Knight respected that because it turned out Hive Knight was gay. And you know what? I'm a real supportive person. Those two, I miss those two. They'll never see me again though, because I'm in a whole new kingdom, and I'm never going back to Hallownest. Fuck that. I'm in a new kingdom. No one knows who I am, I don't think. The only people I think would know is the Steel City, but the Steel City kind of hates all higher beings, so what are you gonna do? Okay, so funnily enough, this new kingdom is called Arrakis, which is really funny because I really like Dune. Now you're probably wondering, why do you like Dune, Mr. Pale King? Also, don't call me Pale King. Call me, we'll come back to that. I don't have a name yet. But it's funny because the worms are kind of like sandworms in Dune, and like, I produce pale oil the same way the sandworms produce spice. Like even now I can just vomit pale oil and suddenly you can heal your weapons and make them cooler and sharper and nicer, fancier, question mark. You can kind of like, modify pale oil with alchemy and turn it into pale ore if that's your thing. Like, it depends. Are you more of a fast strike or like a slow strike? That's actually kind of my job. I'm a traveler in this kingdom, so no one really knows about me, and you know, they kind of all have like a distant respect for me. I've had to fight quite a few clans in the process, but my job is to go to the leaders and they're like, what can you do for us? How can you unite the people of Arrakis? I don't want to do that. That would ruin the economy. So I just vomit pale oil onto their weapons, and they're like, dude, awesome. That's fucking gross, but cool. How can you do that? You're just a normal bug. I'm like, oh, I'm just a normal bug. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Every week I have to repaint my my shell with black, so that way I look like a normal bug, and I have to use a very specific paint, so no one knows I'm a pale being, and I have to like put on a coat of white on my head, so that way I don't glow, and if anyone ever finds out that I'm actually the Pale King, I gotta leave. Like, I gotta go. I might have to kill everyone again. I'm sure there's a higher being who can help with that. You know, there's a higher being I met once called Pale Stag. Yeah, Pale Stag was a fucking weirdo. Glad he was fucking murdered immediately. There's a lot of pale beings I met in Hallownest, like a ridiculous amount of pale beings, and most of them served me, and then they all kind of died out one after another. What was that one guy's name? He had like a red armor. He's a ghost now. He's like, oh, I'm gonna betray you. And I was like, oh, you're gonna raise your sword at me? Well, I'm gonna strike you with lightning. And that's exactly what I did. And, you know, I don't know that guy, but I mean, I did know that guy at one point, but I don't know him anymore. But what's really funny is when you reincarnate, you lose kind of like all your powers. You have to like find them again. So like after I died and became the Pale King, I was like, oh, I gotta go around Hallownest and like relearn all my shit. And I didn't account for that whenever I did it again. And I was like, fuck. That's why I have to use like a normal weapon so no one expects me. Really undercover shit, you know what I mean? I don't want people to know like, oh shit, it's Mr. Hallownest. Like, no, Mr. Beast. No, that type of shit. I'm not Mr. Beast. Geo is, I don't know what Geo is. It's very stressful, but Arrakis actually isn't a desert like Arrakis in Dune. Arrakis, the kingdom, is more like, how do I say this? Gravity Falls. Like, you got trees. They're meant to look like pine trees, but they're not pine trees. They're mimics. They're like bird bug things. And there's also this cult. There's this cult that worships amber. And there's a little bit of lifeblood here too. And, you know, it's a crazy time here. Again, super glad I'm not in Hallownest. Like, can you fucking imagine raising that many? Like, no, fuck that. A good thing I roll like a nat 20 in charisma, am I right? Like, D20, get that shit out there. Like, goddamn. I really did luck out. Shout out to the Radiance and the Void Lord. You know who doesn't get a shout out? Grim. Grim could have easily helped, but just didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, he just kind of showed up after the kingdom collapsed. Like, Grim, I texted you like 3 or 4 times. You know what has happened since that whole event happened? Since, like, you left Hallownest? There's this fucker on Tumblr, I don't know his goddamn name, but he draws homosexual art of us. Grim, do you understand this? It's like, it's not like us either. It's like feral versions of us, like weird furry version. Well, furries aren't weird. Just, I think ferals are kind of weird. You know what I mean? I think feral furries are pretty weird. But still, like, Grim, my guy. And do you have like a daughter or something? I see that with like Ghost. Apparently that's their name. They chose that name for themselves. Ghost, yeah. Apparently. I see that of, like, apparently Ghost grew up and, you know, Grim Child is no longer a Grim Child. I guess they're Grim Adult or Grim. I don't know. I see that a lot. I see, people think the Pure Vessel and Radiance got something going on. I don't think that's the case. I mean, the Void Lord doesn't exactly have a body. So I guess they do have to manifest in something, which, that's a whole can of worms I don't even want to get into. Anyway, chat, I'm alive. Like, subscribe, all that bullshit. I'm alive. I stole a Weaver's channel.